you are fat and you feel triggered by the reaction to Adele, you feel personally affected by the positive reaction to Adele, you feel angry at the reaction to Adele or anyone that loses weight, you clearly are still self-conscious about your weight. You have not truly fallen in love with being big.
Early in the morning,
Damn, that's a mighty fine point that Future Cam just said there. Stay tuned for the rest of that point. Nah, in all seriousness though, welcome back to the channel, guys. You already know who it is. It's your boy Cam, Topical Juice. As you can see by the title, I'm going to be exploring this idea of fat phobia. A lot of you guys might not know what fat phobia is. I didn't know what fat phobia meant until about 5 days ago. And the reason why this word has come to the forefront of my mind and the forefront of kind of like social media and discussion is because Adele has basically dropped a picture on social media that's kind of caught everyone off guard. Long story short, if you hadn't seen, Adele dropped a picture recently where she looks like she's lost a hell of a lot of weight. She looks slim and she looks very different. And in my opinion, she looks a hell of a lot better. You know, I like my girl's tick. I told you that in my old video, in my other video. She looks great. I think she looks better. So a reaction to Adele's weight loss now is a small percentage of fat people basically are now unhappy because of the love that Adele's getting. And in their mind, they believe that because Adele's got so much love for losing weight, that must suggest that being fat is wrong or being fat is ugly. Because Adele's getting love, that must mean, we're disregarding fat people and we're hating fat people. I'm a very open-minded guy and I'm very open to being educated. I am going to systematically and categorically dismantle this ridiculous logic quite quickly. And if you disagree with anything I've got to say, please wait until the end of the video to hear all my points, and then don't start jumping in the comments trying to cuss me, challenge me, educate me if you think I'm wrong. Before I get into the video, please support the channel by hitting a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you're new, hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss this ugly mug. Let's get into it. So I came across some tweets. I'll put the tweet on the screen, but I'll read it out at the same time. So as you can see from the tweet on the screen, the first tweet said, Adele's looking like the treasurer of State University sorority, blah, 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 just gassing up Adele, right? This girl goes, y'all like when fat people get skinny a little too much. Okay. The first reply, I said what I said. Y'all's fat phobic and it's showing. Oh no, y'all's fat phobia is showing. I promise y'all, being fat is not as scary as you think. I wouldn't wish it on anyone in the society we live in, but it's not the end of the world. Listen, you know what? Let's get straight into this. My challenge to you and anyone else who's fat, yeah, and feels triggered by the reaction to Adele, right? I'm gonna put this plain and simple. This is my basic psychology. This is my basic psychology skills coming out here, yeah? I didn't even study this stuff, but this is how way my mind works, right? I would say overweight, but the word ain't overweight phobic, it's fat phobic. So if you are fat and you feel triggered by the reaction to Adele, you feel personally affected by the positive reaction to Adele, you feel angry at the reaction to Adele or anyone that loses weight, you clearly are still self-conscious about your weight. You have not truly fallen in love with being big. Plain and simple. Because if you had, you wouldn't care about the reaction. You'd be so secure in yourself that a positive reaction to Adele or a positive reaction to Beyonce or Rihanna, whoosh, it would go straight over your head because you don't care. Plain and simple. So that you tweeting about y'all are fat phobic because we gas up Adele, you're clearly insecure. You're clearly insecure and you still have self-esteem issues about your weight, in my opinion. I don't want to hear stuff about, y'all don't know the reason. Y'all don't know the reason she lost weight. You don't know. It could be for this. I don't care. I actually don't care about the reason. I don't care if it was revenge to get back at her husband. I don't care what the reason was. I don't listen to Adele like that. I couldn't even tell you 3 or 4 of her songs. I just like her because I like her personality. She's a girl from ends and she made it, right? So I don't follow her. If I see Adele post a picture and I think she looks good, I am going to build her self-esteem by putting a comment on her picture. Plain and simple. I'm not going to not put that comment on her picture because a small percentage of overweight people feel personally triggered and attacked by that. No, bollocks. Let's pick apart the second thing she said. She goes, you all are acting like being fat's a bad thing. It's not that bad, guys. You're acting like we don't know what being fat could feel like. You're acting like you were born that way. Being fat is not like being Indian or black or white. It's not a race, it's a choice. Plain and simple. How do you know that when I commented or whatever, or when someone commented, they don't know what it felt like to be fat? How do you know that? I've been fat. I spent most of my life being overweight big man or big gal. You understand? So I know what it's like, and I'm well qualified. To be honest, even if I had been skinny my whole life, I am well qualified to congratulate her for losing weight. But the fact that I've been overweight, didn't like it, so I wanted to change my body. The fact that my mum's been overweight, didn't like it. Stepdad's been overweight, didn't like it. My boy Jay's been overweight, didn't like it. That doesn't matter, because we're all entitled to our opinion. This is where the problem lies, right? Please do not let fat phobia become a thing, because it's really taken away from more serious issues, right? You were not born fat, okay? You're human, the same way I'm human. You have a higher body fat percentage than most people. You weren't born that way. If you feel triggered that people are showing love, then change something about yourself. I'm gonna leave you on this final point here. Really let this one hit home. We are in an age, right, where people are becoming sensitive. I get that people are sensitive for different reasons, and I personally think we're too sensitive as a society. That's where we're moving, right? The reason we're becoming sensitive is because there's a growing awareness of oppression. There's a growing awareness of systematic kind of systematic oppression. There's a growing awareness of how the system benefits some people and doesn't benefit others. I get that. People are talking about pretty privilege. People are talking about this. People are talking about that. I want to spearhead the race movement. I want to talk about race and educate people about race a lot more for my channel. I get that. Whatever. Cool. This fat phobia is really making a mockery of stuff that's serious. The system was actually designed to put black people down or minorities down. The system really did hurt homosexuals, for example. You have not suffered systematic oppression for being fat. No. Not to mention, why is it okay, for example, to say, I don't like skinny girls? You understand? Like, it's just a preference thing. Like, I've got no type, but if there was going to be a preference, I just don't like my girls too skinny. I like a bit of meat on the bones. You know what I'm saying? I like my girls thicker. But it's okay to say that. Why is it okay to say, I don't really like skinny girls, but it's not okay to say, I don't like fat girls, because people, you're fat phobic, it's not okay to. I am all for people being in love with their own skin. If you are fat and overweight and you are happy, amazing. If you are anorexic and you are happy, amazing. If you are muscly and you are happy, well done. Okay, that's all I care about. You're happy in your own skin. But don't try and tell me that you're suffering. Stop trying to be a victim. Why do people want to be victims? If I could be top of the food chain, top of the social standings, I'd be delirious with it. I'd be saying, I'd be happy days. Happy days, I'm top of the social. Everyone wants to be victimized for some reason. You don't want that. Trust me, you really don't. You don't want to be a victim of something that hurts, oppression in a certain way. You really don't. This small percentage of fat people, don't do it. Nip it in the bud now, please. Because it's making a mockery of things. Well, I suppose real is relative. I'm not trying to say that one person's mountain isn't like one person's mountain is another person's mountain. I get whatever it is. I get molehill. I get it. I get it. It's all relative. But when there's real life, real serious issues, real systematic oppression of races and real systematic oppression of certain demographics, and you want to be a part of that for saying, because we're showing love for a transformation, right? One of my closest brothers, his girlfriend was very skinny. She hated it. Now she looks fantastic because she's gained weight. I would be clapping that transformation just as much as the weight loss one. Stop being so damn sensitive. Like I said, I think it's complete and utter bollocks, but I am open-minded. So if you've got points that you want to make, please hit me up in the comments, hit me up in the DMs and tell me why I'm being fat phobic. Because from my point of view, I think it's a joke. And like I said, if you were truly happy in yourself, you wouldn't care. So actually, you calling people fat phobic, you're the one with the insecurities that need to be dealt with, in my opinion. So anyway, my camera's literally flashing red, so it's about to die. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope I didn't insult no one. I apologize if I did, and see you next time.